On Thanksgiving Day 2018, Suki came into my life. She was born a normal, healthy kitten, but at 4 weeks of age, a motherly dog picked her up like a puppy and accidentally damaged her spinal cord. A local veterinarian began acupuncture and pain control, and then contacted Salem Friends of Felines, who took her in and treated her, and eventually, Suki found her way to me. My name is Sarah Ostrin, and I have been fostering bottle kittens and cats for Salem Friends of Felines for nearly 10 years. I am a certified veterinary technician with a specialty in physical rehabilitation. Suki had no deep pain sensation in either rear limb, tail, or pelvis. Without it, she had no feeling or ability to move. She also had scalding down her legs from urine and constant diarrhea. Most of her fur was missing on both legs. Suki was started on antibiotics and began physical therapy right away. She was treated with laser and acupuncture along with daily exercises to teach her how to engage her limbs in a more normal fashion. After a month, she was ready to start hydrotherapy. Yes, Suki used an underwater treadmill. The name Suki in Japanese means beloved, and I decided after all we've been through that Suki was more than just a foster, and I officially made her 100% our baby. As Suki grew, we learned a lot about each other. After trying out wheelchairs, diapers, ramps, special window seats, and lots of beds, we found that Suki prefers the freebird life. Scooting and climbing are her independence and her exercise. By February, she was climbing on the couch on her own. By April, she was on the cat trees. And come June, she was trying to get out the back patio door to the grass for bug chasing. But in our time together, we learned that sometimes not every injury heals. As she grew, her legs began to not just become immobile, but a hindrance to her mobility and her health. So, after months of deliberation and questions asked to every veterinary physical therapist, surgeon, and neurologist I could find, I decided to go through with surgery to remove her rear limbs and part of her tail. I cried when I saw her in recovery, but when I said her name, she opened those beautiful blue eyes and meowed at me, and scooted right up to the front of the kennel like she always does and straight into my lap. I knew then that she was going to be fine. She still has enough of her rear legs to fit into her wheelchair if she ever decides she wants to. And most importantly, she still has all that Suki fire in her. She spent 2 weeks in her bandages after surgery, but now that they're off, she will go back to her normal life as a normal cat for hopefully the next 20 years. And she is already scooting straighter and faster than she ever has before.
My name is Jackie, and I am the assistant manager at Salem Friends of Felines. It was Monday, August 5th, and I was just getting ready to leave for the day when Jen from the thrift store came to me holding something in a soft cloth. When she handed it to me, I saw there was a tiny kitten inside. A woman dropped it off, saying some kids ran up to her, gave her the kitten, and ran off. I did a distemper test, which was negative. Yay! I weighed her a whopping 0.5 pounds. I guesstimated she was 3.5 weeks old and severely malnourished. I didn't realize she had an injured back leg at first. She wasn't acting like she was in pain or could even feel it at all. The vet said that her leg could be dislocated, but for now they wanted to concentrate on getting her healthy. She didn't seem familiar with wet food, so we bottle fed and syringe fed her. She was a hungry and spunky little thing. We could tell she was a fighter from the start. We usually don't name kittens until they're fostered, but I wanted her to have something because I didn't know what the prognosis would be. I decided to name her Lozen. Lozen was an Apache warrior that fought for the freedom of her family, herself, and the freedom of her people. Over the next few days, her eyes started looking better, her breathing started clearing up, and she seemed like she was feeling better all around. One of our volunteers offered her some baby cat wet food off her finger, and this time she ate it. By the next morning, she was not on the bottle at all. By day 8, Lozen's weight was up to 0.7 pounds. The vet determined that the most likely cause of her leg injury was getting run over, possibly by a bike, or a tail-pulling injury had happened. We also confirmed an ulcer in her eye. She seems to try to use her leg a little more often since we've been doing the therapy. She has tried to put weight on it for a few steps, but not a lot. And she seems to groom it more, like she may be getting feeling back in it. We're taking it all as progress, even if it is just a little, it's something. And she hasn't let anything slow her down. She plays and runs and hops around like any other kitty. This little girl has a zest for life and she touches the hearts of everybody she meets. Seeing her is witnessing a miracle. It's the beginning of September now, and she's off all meds, the ulcer is gone, and she's up to 1.2 pounds. We don't know where Lozen's story goes from here, but we are tentatively hopeful with the progress so far. And we know we have the support of amazing people to help her through this long journey of healing and recovery. We'll all be with her every step or hop of the way.